We made it, everybody. We made it to the last month of 2020. It's been a terrible year, but it's almost over. So let's see what book review fun we have here on my channel. So it's basically going to be the same thing. I'm going to post 2 book reviews every 3 days. I'll just be continuing from the various series that I've been reading. So the Hardy Boys undercover graphic novels. So I'll read 4 of those, books 14 through 17. We've got Haley Donnell's Top 8, which is just a funny book. It's really funny. It's about MySpace, so it's really kind of funny to read now because it's totally dated. But somebody's going after the top 8 spaces on MySpace. Live Free, Die Hardy is a parody of Die Hard, which is really kind of weird for the series, but it works. It's still a good story. And then the last 2 are kind of bad. It's Shh, which takes place in a library. That is boring. And then Word Up, which takes place in a spelling bee, where the 2 Hardys are separated from each other, and it does not work at all. No. Okay, so Boxcar Children. Only 2 Boxcar Children reviews, actually. Mystery at the Bus Station, which I remember has something to do with pollution, and then The Mystery Behind the Wall, which was an awesome book. I think I gave it like a 9 or a 10 out of 10. I just remember loving it as a kid, and I loved it when I reread it. Little Sister books. So I've got 4 of the Little Sister books. Books 11, 12, 13, and Super Special 1. So that's going to be the one where she does the spelling bee and brags all the time. Her Ghost. So that's going to be, actually it's right over here. Karen's Ghost, where she meets Ben Brewer. She doesn't meet Ben Brewer, but it's all about Ben Brewer, the ghost that lives in her house. She freaked out a lot about him in the main series, and they finally got around to adding him here in the Karen series. I don't know, it took so long. Karen's surprise is when she basically hijacks the Thanksgiving play because she's a selfish jerk. And Karen's Wish is the super special, which is not actually a very super special book. So here's the reason why it's a super special. These last pages, if you can see, like the last 30 pages or so, are just sort of crafts and activities. So they threw a bunch of crafts and activities on the end of a normal book and said, hey, guess what? It's a super special. So I did not like that. And let's see, what else am I reading? Babysitters Club number 65, Stacy's Big Crush. I remember hating that book. Stacy falls in love with like her handsome math teacher, and it's just gross and yucky. And I've read like 3 or 4 books with the same premise. There's one with the Berenstain Bears. There's one for Sweet Valley High. There's one for Babysitters Club too. And I don't know. Also, River Heights, the Nancy Drew spin-off series, which focuses on romance. So I've read 4 books where girls fall in love with their teachers, and I just find it creepy, and I don't like the premise at all. And yeah, so that's what's going to be posted on my book review channel. I've got a bunch of what do you call it? I've got a bunch of commissions I'll be doing at the end of the month. So I don't know which ones I'll actually read because I haven't started reading them yet. So hopefully I'll be able to finish them by the end of the month. Somebody wants me to read A Christmas Carol, and somebody wants me to read 20,000 Leagues. No, Around the World in 80 Days. Sorry. So I get to read 2 of these old classic books. Somebody wants Alex Rider Storm Rider, which I'm excited about because I've read the author's other stuff and liked it, so hopefully Storm Rider is just as good. It's his famous series about like a British spy kid. I've also got The Selection, which appears to be some sort of modern fairy tale romance novel. So, I guess that could be cool. And let's see, I think I've also got There's a Boy in the Girl's Bathroom by Louis Sacker, which is going to be a great one. I remember reading the book and loving it. I'll probably do that review with Mary because she liked that, just like I did with the review for Louis Sacker's Holes. And as for books I've read, I don't know exactly what to say about the books I've read and reviewed because just this particular video I'm recording like at least a week in advance. So there's a lot of books which I've read, but I'm trying to work on the reviews for. So I basically read all the Little Sister books up to this one, number 17, which is basically the last one. You see, the next book I have is book number 67, And that's kind of a huge jump from book 17. That's like 50 books ahead. So I'm like, oh, I think I'll stop at book 17. But then again, part of me is like, no, you can't stop at 17. Stop at book 20. Just go to book 20 and then stop. That's what my mind is telling me. So we'll see what decision I make there. I read a couple of the just miscellaneous Babysitters Club books, like the Babysitters Club Trivia and Fun book. Hooray! Hooray! I read the Babysitters Club Notebook, the Complete Guide to Babysitting, and also the Biography of Anne M. Martin. So I basically just read all the extra Babysitters Club books. Anna and Elsa number 8, Return to the Ice Palace, which was a comedy. I didn't think it was all that good, but it was definitely a comedy, and that sort of makes me question my reviews for the other books in the Anna Elsa series, because, you know, I really hated the one where Anna was playing detective and she was an idiot the whole time, but now I'm like, maybe that was supposed to be a joke. Maybe it was on purpose that she was a stupid detective. But then again, maybe not, because at the end of the book, the book acts like, oh man, she made a great deduction, when no, it was a stupid deduction, so maybe not. Rainbow Magic number, special edition, whatever Emma the Easter Fairy is, and then Florence the Friendship Fairy, and then Kara the Camp Fairy, so there's like super edition, special editions number 16 through 18. People debate which number Kara the Camp Fairy should be. Is it number 18 or is it number 26? Because it changes depending on whether you're doing the British edition or the American edition, because they were released in totally different years in those countries. That's a really boring thing to fight over. I think it's boring. And then Rainbow Magic number 100, Leia the Theater Fairy. Interesting, the Showtime Fairies, so we've got 7 books, just never released in the United States. That includes book number 100. I don't know why. It takes place during half term, where everybody's having auditions for some sort of talent show competition. And, you know, yeah, I guess it's kind of British to have a half term. We don't have those in America. But you could have just said it was spring break or something. That's what all the other Rainbow Magic Fairy books do. You know, it could have been localized into America without too much trouble. That's why I think. I also read Kate, the Royal Wedding Fairy, which is clearly based on Kate Middleton. So that was an interesting book. It was kind of funny. I give it a thumbs up, but it was also not released in the United States. My book project. Let me talk about my book project. So I did NaNoWriMo last month, so I actually was hoping I could write a sequel to this game, but I did not. Alas, I did not. I was also thinking about writing like a sequel to the Francie Drew video games, but, you know, I have a list of like 30, not 30, okay, more like 20 different things I want to write, just vague ideas. Some of them have outlines, some of them don't. And I basically just ran it through a randomizer and let that pick which writing project I would do for NaNoWriMo. So I ended up writing a science fiction game, which is sort of like Groundhog Day. You do a bunch of time loops, because I thought that would be a cool idea. So I took all my various time travel ideas and threw them at the game, and hopefully some of them are good. And that was 35,000 words. And NaNoWriMo wants you to write 50,000 words. So I had to write another 15,000 words somewhere. So I just ran the randomizer again, and it picked a very silly idea of mine, which is a dating sim with Santa Clauses. So you get to date Santa Claus. It's silly and fun and just goofy. So those are my 2 big writing projects. So I did not make any progress with my other writing projects. One of them is a Madge Sterling book, and then the other is a Saint Teresa of Lisieux book, which I'll talk more about next year once things actually happen with them. Yeah, they're still in the planning stages. So, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this little preview of what's to come.